Hey, yo, whoa, we are back. Another episode of Ski's Opinion with your gracious, your humble host, Ski. Yeah, I'm back, people. It's been a minute. Okay, let's jump right into it. Let's get in there. I know I've been missing in action, people, but I am back. We are back, no excuse, so I'm gonna jump right into this. I ain't finna go into all the Anyway, this is Ski's Opinion. Sure about everything and nothing at all, y'all. Let's go. First thing first, I want to speak on is Memphis, my boy, your boy, our boy, Bleek. Blazzle go on the Breakfast Club. I know it's been out, y'all. Everybody's been caught on to it. Let me give my take on it, though. Can I give mine? Don't be mad at me for giving mine. All right, here we go. Bleek go on the Breakfast Club. You know, he going through the whole spiel about the J concert. I know everybody super geeked about Unk Gate, you know what I'm saying? Unk Fest that happened, you know, last weekend, yeah. Not the last, but the one before. Alright, but anyway, Unk Fest. He came on to speak on that. He spoke on that, gave his jewels, his takes, you know what I'm saying, as far as what he felt about the concert and the 3 days of the festivities, you know. Which I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump back into that. I ain't gonna go too much into the Jay-Z concert weekend. I'm gonna probably double back on that and give some takes on that on another show. But anyway, he come on Breakfast Club. He's asked some questions about this, about that, about Jay, how things going, and then he brings up the fact or the situation with our boy Tony Yayo, right? So Yayo said some goofy-ish, you know, a little while back about Blizzle and Jay relationship. Yayo bring up that he feels like Jay don't look out for Bleek the way that 50 looks out for him. I told you I spoke about this a while ago with the Yayo situation, and I had the feeling that this was gonna come back to bite him and his behind at some point, and I think that it's happening right now, you guys. It's happening. So they asked him the question about how he felt about Yayo saying, and Bleek said that he feels like Yayo said he feels like Jay and Bleek's relationship is business, and Bleek said he feel like him and 50 Cent relationship is financial. He called my man a dependent, y'all. So I just think about this, you know, when he said that, and I thought like that, right? If you a tax like write off, right? If I could use you as a dependent, right, a benefactor to save money on taxes, if we can do that, why wouldn't I do that, you know? But you also on homie, so I could put you in a position to get money too as well. But Bleek brought up some things that I didn't even look at within their situation or their relationship, right? He said it's just financial, and I think it's financial on the part of Yayo. 50's using the finances, I think, to even control him to a certain extent, right? Take him on tour. He let them open up for him. Yeah, probably getting 100 band to open up 50, because 50 getting close to Emma show, if not an Emma show, right? So it's financial. So Bleek said he uses liability at 50 say a year, and he ain't doing nothing for y'all. He's been the shelter. That's what he said. He said Jay don't do nothing for me. Jay don't have to. He said I have a job that pays me well. This is the type of stuff I was talking about, y'all. Like nobody wanted to speak on it And I was speaking on it to say that that doesn't look good for Yayo, to keep saying what another grown man is doing for him, right? And now he's being called out. Like, you said something slick about another grown man, and this man called you out on it. And he said that he feels like their situation is financial, right? And 50 controls everything. Without 50, he would do nothing. What are we talking about if we're not talking about 50 Cent? For Tony Yayo, who is Tony Yayo, that's what Bleek said. He said he don't need to, I get my own paper, right? I work several jobs. I'm gonna put the drip on, you know, this and that. He said the man was scared for him. He's home in, what was it, in LA. He said Yayo scared for him to have his own jury, yo. And he's like, man, you crazy, what you doing out here in LA with jury, yo? He's like, man, I'm about to show you, young, which sounds stupid to me. I agree with Charlotte. Charlotte said, no, that's a man thing. Yayo made sense with that, right? Your name is enough. He said it's not. And he said, nigga, on record, I hear Bleek, but I also hear what Charlamagne's saying. I also hear what Yayo was saying as far as that you don't put yourself in that position because you got to show that you getting money. Like, dude, come on. You too old for that. You're knocking on 50 and you're talking about, you know, something as dumb as that, right? But anyway, he throws some jabs at Yayo. He said Yayo can't even wear his own chain, the passport chain. He said, I've never seen Yayo with the chain on without 50 Cent. As if he's saying that 50 Cent really owned the chain and Yayo could only wear it when 50 is with him or 50 allows him to, right? Because it's really probably 50 Cent's chain because he paid for it. Or whatever. However Bleek is trying to make it, but what he's saying is he get his own paper, he's his own man, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. He's not dependent on waiting on Jay to do anything about him, and he's not gonna brag on the fact that Jay is doing anything for him, right? So, Bleek shot back at him, right? So this situation spilled, right? Bleek left the Breakfast Club. I think he went to another show where he was speaking and the guy asked him about G-Unit in some type of capacity. I'm thinking it branched off of the Yayo situation, right? Where he said that, Bleek said that he'll battle the whole G-Unit. And sure, now the dude said, you talking about Banks and Yayo? He talking about Banks and Yayo. He said the whole G-Unit. Bleek was including 50. This guy who wasn't paying attention to, he never not once said not 50. He said them. He said bar to bar, song for song, he's better than them. Lloyd Banks, Yayo, 50. He said G on it, y'all. Buck, that's including everybody. Who's game? He named everybody. Well, he didn't exclude anybody. I'm not gonna say that. They kept trying to name Yayo and Buck Banks. He didn't say that. So pay attention to that tone. It sounds like Banks is coming back. And I don't know if it's him, but I know Jimmy, they had to bring up Jimmy. Jim Jones had to get his way up in some type of way. I think he was on his show and somebody asked him, do he feel like he's better than Lloyd Banks? And he's like, what? Lloyd Banks? What? You listen to Lloyd Banks? Who listens to Lloyd Banks? He dissed him, you know, subliminally. And sadly, Banks just dropped a verse, a freestyle going at him. I haven't heard the whole thing yet, you guys, so I don't know if he came at Bleek either. On that, he might have included Bleek in that as well, but he did come at Jones. Jones needs to stop. Jones, you got a decent catalog, dog. I'm not finna even front and sit here and act like he didn't make any good music. As of later on, I think he learned the formula, you know, for his music or whatever as he was doing it. But as of late, I think Yayo been tearing the charts up, you know. Not Yayo, Jones. Been doing some really hot-ish. I think he kind of dying off now. As far as the music, I don't think nobody cares. These youngsters don't care about none of that. So, I'm gonna say, I think he Yeah, I think he messed up. Um, as far as talking now, when he was bringing out the kitchen mixtapes and forgot the us, he had one that was real hard out. When he was cooking like that, he should have been talking like he talking now. Right now, you on a downslide, right? So you're not there no more yet. You know, to be talking like that, and then you didn't even accomplish the stuff that these people accomplished in 1 and 2 albums. You not 10 that don't equate to what probably one of Bank's albums have done as far as sales, right? And he got 3 or 4, 5, 6 now, you know, and he's doing numbers. Probably the same amount of numbers you doing, if not more. Might have to check on that to see if Bank's charting or selling more units than Jim Jones. Somebody hit me in the comments and let me know, do you see this video? And let me know if Jim Jones is charting higher or selling more than Lloyd Banks or vice versa. But anyway, it sounds like it's about to heat up, you know. Bleek said, hit Swizz up, hit Tim. It's time to get that verses going. So we finna get some verses, y'all, I think, from this situation. But I will say that I kind of want to salute Memphis Bleek, you know, for stepping up, saying what he said. He never really said it. He always laughed it off, and he tried to be peaceful and grown manish on it. But I will salute him for stepping up for himself and standing up for himself. But people out here trying to say slick things about him because they figured he wasn't going to respond, because he never do. But I'm going to say that I appreciate you for speaking up and speaking out, right? And saying something that I feel the same about. Like, ain't no grown man got to take care of me. I'm going to be all right, you know? But that's all I got on that situation, right? I'm going to keep an eye on it. And we'll circle back, you know, at another time on where that goes. But my next topic I want to speak on, you guys, that would have to be my man's, your man's, our Mr. Boosie Boo, right? Boosie Boo got the snitching allegations going right now, y'all. You know, everybody know Boosie is big, no snitching, no respect to the rats, right? That's my man Boosie Boo. He like, dog, nigga, you stand on business. But it sounds like he's not standing on business, right? I gotta do a little bit more research on this. I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper on who exactly he's supposedly snitched on. But it sounds like he might have snitched on something. I saw a clip somewhere with 2 white guys that I don't know. And it sounded like he might have said something to them. He tried to get a pardon, but I think that he got some type of deal. I think like some type of deal for like probation or something like that. Boosie probably shouldn't have got it. He's a convicted felon. He should probably want to get out some time for get caught with that pistol, but he's actually not. So he got some type of deal going on, and they saying that he possibly snitched on some people to get that deal. And he tried to get the pardon. There's something going on with this pardon thing. They're saying that, I guess it sounds like he got scammed out of $600K and never got a pardon. You know, he's trying to pay the pardon committee or whatever, the lawyers or whatever, did something. The Boosie trying to sue to get his paper back, you know. But they got away with, I think, $600K due to supposedly getting him a pardon or getting him in talks with the people who can actually make that happen, but it didn't happen for him. So he ended up doing some talking, you know, behind that to get the deal that he didn't get, right? Snitching Boo. You can't live this one down, bro. It's gonna hit him hard because you were so hard on everybody who ever had allegations on their name about snitching, right? So with the allegation out here on you, Boosie, you know people been waiting for, right? You've been very quiet, I would say, as of late, since you left the Vlad TV interview, you know, segment. your thing didn't work, so I don't know where Booty going with it, and how he gonna explain or try to talk his way out of this, right? You can't keep with the real nigga card, right? Because you not a real ever if you did what they saying you did, right? Allegedly, you snitch. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, like, we not gonna sit here and act like, you can't call a spade a spade. You're a hypocrite, brother. Because you done the same thing. You talked about how people supposed to stand on it and all this and that, and you ain't folded and abandoned, and you did. You bent that back over. But that's what I got on that scenario as far as with Boosie. I was thinking about something I wanted to speak on. It caught my attention over this past weekend. Oh, I see the clip where now I think it's Snitches News. My man, he back there again. He really working hard, for the feds. It sounds like Dirk ended up getting a motion that went his way as far as separating his cases, right? So he severed these two cases so he could still go to trial on August 20th, right, for the racketeering charge that they had before. Government was trying to pull something because I don't think that they thought or felt like these charges is going to stick, that he was going to be able to beat them. So they tried to slam in at the last minute, fourth quarter, and throw in some new charges and a new indictment with this Vicar, Rico, and these other murder for hires and other shootings or whatever in Atlanta and all this stuff, right? That you tried to pile in on this one, but you can't do that when y'all got less than 60 days or something like that to go to trial. So the judge sided with Dirk, they gave them the motion to sever these two trials, so he will be able to go on trial for the first murder for hire thing, which I think he's gonna beat. And I think the feds know he's gonna beat that now, so you're not gonna be able to pile that on to get a crazy conviction on him, right? So the second charge, I think because it's so laxing and y'all just throwing things in there, and then there's no evidence that the kids, Marnie and whatever the name is, who supposed to came to Memphis again, ever got in communication with Dirk, ever received any payment from Dirk, or received a payment from anybody who is affiliated with Dirk. It's nothing short other than he was at the thing and then he was flashing money. These are getting paper, y'all. I mean, I don't know, or they got money, whatever, but that doesn't show solid, foolproof. Oh, Dirk gave him the money, right? So now you got snitches coming up with something saying that THF Bezos, 30 up the dead people name, right? That THF Bezos talked with the feds, he said. I don't know how true this is. It does seem kind of skeptical and fickle to me with them bringing up things that involved this man after he died, because now I guess the other cases that they tried to introduce into this case that got separated is involving him, which he's dead, so you don't have him being able to speak up for himself, which in itself is neither here nor there, but it is kind of unfair, right? Because you guys can cross-examine and say this and that about this person, but he has no way, or the lawyers have no way to cross-examine to have him rebut what they say. But that's what it is. I've seen some things or been hearing some things that's been mustering about some stuff that's supposed to change the outcome of Dirk's trial. So something just happened. I will get back to you guys on that. I don't really have all the facts and all of the information right now in front of me, so I don't want to jump and say anything more about that part of it until I get more information. But stay tuned. I shall return and come back around with that info. So with that being said, I'm gonna end the show like that, you guys. This has been another episode of Ski's Opinion with your gracious, your humble host. Who that is? Ski.